17th of this year, 7 months ago, I sent a letter of complaint to Mr. Joe Turner, Director of Houston Parks and Recreation Department, about an illegal mountain bike trail in Memorial Park. 2 months later, I had heard nothing, so I sent a second letter, certified, return receipt requested on April 26th. Still, I heard nothing. So on June 27th, I contacted my council member, Ellen Cohen, and her office said on July 1st that they had contacted Houston Parks and Recreation about my complaint. August 13th and then August 15th, I received two phone messages from Councilmember Cohen's office saying first that there was a letter in the Director's Department, and second that they had tried to get movement going and that it had not succeeded, and if I wanted to contact them, I could. So my questions are this: what does it take to get Mr. Joe Turner to seriously address the citizen's complaint? How long does it take Mr. Turner to address the citizen's complaint? What is the procedure used to log in, investigate, and respond to a citizen's complaint in the Houston Parks and Recreation Department? And how long does this usually take? And finally, when will my complaint be taken seriously, be investigated? And when will I get a response that adequately addresses my complaint? Today at about 11 o'clock, Lucy Correa from Parks Department called me about this, and we talked for a while about it. But 7 months waiting for a response and getting them, that is poor government, and I don't see any reason for very upset and angry about it. Thank you.
I agree, you should have had a response. Might not like the response, but you should have had a response. One of the challenges in these illegal mountain bike trails is we block them, the bikers go in and drag the stuff out of the way and go right back down again, but you should have had a response. No excuses for that.
Sure, I understand that, Mayor, but as I talked to Ms. Correa today, it doesn't appear, and I may be wrong on this, that anyone is going out from Parks and Recreation to look and see what's going on. Is there an illegal trail? What do we need to do about it? There ought to be some sort of, I'm going to call it an audit, whatever you want to, where you go to parks and you look around. Some places like Herman Park, I see vandalism, whatever. But somehow where you're regularly going and looking for things, you're educating people, you're talking to them. And to me, when I go out there, I just don't see that kind of activity occurring. But I think it's really, really important to do that.
Chair recognizes Councilman Cohen.
Thank you. And I agree with you, and clearly agree with the mayor that something had fallen through the cracks, because our records show that we had 9 forms of communication with you, and 4 or 5 communications with the Parks Department, and sometimes, and I guess in a city of 2.1 million, things do fall through the cracks. The point being that you need to be responded to. That's what we've tried to do. Parks, I think, in their conversation with you to do today, is trying to get to the issue. And finally, in terms of solving the problem, Memorial Park is now going through a huge change. It's now looking to see what's the master plan, what's going to be happening. And so a lot of these issues, in fact, will be addressed in the master plan. And I think, as a side suggestion, when you are made aware of the fact that there will be meetings that are going to take place in terms of input from community about the master plan, that that you get involved as well, because we want your input, and that's the kind of effect it would have.
I appreciate that, and I will be, but to me, again, it ought to be a regular way of doing business, that people are out there looking at our parks and making sure that illegal things aren't being done and we're not destroying our resources out there.
Development.
Thank you very much.
Brent. Chair recognizes Councilman Pennington.
This is just a point of inquiry. I'm not a mountain bike rider, but I know they've been out there forever. Is there an ordinance against it? And are there signs that are posted that said that they should not use them? I know they've been part of the discussions. I
has an environmental impact.
Right.
A negative environmental impact.
But there is a posted sign saying no bike trails, or something to put them on notice.
You wouldn't want to clutter up the park with signs everywhere saying don't do this. What we try to do is work with the mountain biking community to police their own and to keep the road riders from going out and creating new trails.
Well, I think in criminal law, you're supposed to put people on notice that what they're doing is, like a speed limit sign and that sort of thing. It seems like to me, we might have an obligation to post something.
I was going to say, it appears this trail that I'm referring to, because there are some others also, has some old signs that say no bicycles beyond this point. They're gray signs, but a lot of them are overgrown with vegetation or knocked over or that sort of thing. And so they were some of the original trails that were supposed to be put to bed, apparently, but have been reopened up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We will request that the Parks Department take a look at this sign. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.